Welcome back, everyone, to Crossfire at EWC 2026 live from Paris. We've had our first match here on the B stream, and now we're going to start gearing up towards our second. It's the Battle of Brazil. We have got two fantastic teams, and I've got two fantastic hosts, analysts, characters. Doesn't matter. I get to call you whatever I want at this point because you're doing everything, boys, and I appreciate you. We've got Paladin now joining us instead of Scriv. Paladin, I mean, how you been doing? I saw you on the main stage earlier. You've been just a little bit of everywhere. So
they're running me everywhere. They're working me. And, you know, it's been fantastic. Now that we have day two, we've got people more in the venue.
Yeah.
Seeing the crowd, seeing the support for Liquid as well. That previous series was absolutely fantastic.
It was a really good series. It was a very closely contested series as well. But now we move into Na'Vi versus Rock, which is one that I think when I looked at the schedule, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a juicy one. Can we top the first series? Do you think this one might be even better, or do you think this one might be a little bit more one-sided?
No, I guess it's not going to be topping up the first series because the first series was a banker. It was 3 games, and you've watched Stallions ups and downs. And I mean, Rock and Na'Vi is not going to be the same as Liquid and Stallions because I love seeing teams from a region just playing another region. But Brazilians, they probably know how both play.
Yeah, because this is going to be a playstyle that they're both familiar with. They probably have practiced each other a lot and played each other in their own region as well. I mean, leaning towards favorites, we obviously know how good Rock are, right? They are the #1 team. That being said, from what we saw yesterday from Na'Vi against Falcons, it looks like they are here to play at this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of players that you can look towards and say, yeah, these guys can win you a map, can win you a series. But what makes this series so interesting is domestic matchups completely throw all ideas of your preconceived notions about these teams out the window. And that's what makes this really, really exciting for me.
Very exciting, and you can see that the Rock players are making sure that they are all on the same page with a little bit of a huddle as well. It has been a pleasure to see the differences with the Crossfire teams, how they amp themselves up, whether it's with a little pre-match discussion or whether it's with the war cries that we seem to see from every other team as well. But this is a fantastic opportunity for both these teams to find their spot in playoffs, of course. The winner of this will guarantee that spot. The loser drops down to that loser's bracket, where they'll have to play through tomorrow to try and qualify for their spot in the top 8. Now, when it comes to Na'Vi on the other side, Penguin, they are a team who have been able to demonstrate they can get the win on Subbase, they can get the win on Black Widow, whereas for Rock, they found a win on New Compound and Black Widow as well. Similarly to what I was speaking to you about earlier, do we see target bans now happening with these two teams? Because they know each other so well.
Exactly, because they know each other. We are talking about two Brazilian teams, so definitely this is a familiar faces for both. For example, I have a very good sub base, but I can't play it versus Rocky Sports, so I need to ban it, although it's my best, because I know that they're good and they can beat me, or probably their playstyle just counters my playstyle. So it's quite easier than playing on other regions, because other regions are a big gamble. I can ban one map, but they could be kind of secretly just having a surprise map for me. So that's why I'm saying when you're playing versus a team that you already know, the bans, the V2 is way, way, way easier.
Do you think there's an advantage for Na'Vi here, Paladin, in the fact that Rock are the #1 team, so Na'Vi have probably been able to put in a little bit more research into how Rock play?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, it's all about mind games. It's all about anti-stratting, and they have the opportunity to completely do it. And there are weaknesses on this Rock team. They are the #1 team in Brazil, but I still look towards how poor their Ankara was yesterday. I looked at the issues that A-side defense had. You look at Fifi and VNC not being able to crack anything. That's easily something that if I look back at the demos from the Na'Vi camp, I'm saying, okay, this is the map that we want to target. This is the site that we've got to target, and we've got plenty of opportunities to get the job done.
So that's a look at Rock Esports. We'll transition and look at Na'Vi shortly as well. I mean, Penguin, this Na'Vi team, they have 5 fantastic players, but who's the standout for you? Who is the #1 on that Na'Vi?
Locom. Okay, and this guy did a very good job on Juan. This guy as well is having a blast, and especially that Juan is going to be playing versus MG. But let me say that it's a shaky MG because we haven't seen the best performance out of him. So if Juan is having a good day, Rock can lose these fights because of this guy.
Because we saw a lot of like 1v2s, 1v3s as well from Juan yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And I mean, it doesn't stop there. LKT had a fantastic series yesterday, constant stream of frags from him. And then JV with some huge anchor moments on the defense and some big clutches as well.
Yeah, lots of clutches, which is very important. You need that player that you can rely on. But this was Na'Vi arriving earlier on today with confidence, as they should, because yesterday was a really premium day for them. A dominant 2-0 victory over Falcons, which was unexpected with some, I'm sure, in the community. But after watching it, Na'Vi just look like they are here to play. They are here to upset anyone else in this tournament, and it would be the upset of all upsets if they could take down Rock here. I'm sure it would echo through the entire arena and the Crossfire community if they are able to do so. But it's a long journey. It is going to be... I'm curious to see because if Na'Vi are able to maybe suss something out, maybe if you can try and get Ankara again, you might be able to do what Nemesis were able to do, because that was the biggest thing from yesterday, right? Was that Nemesis game where they were able to absolutely dominate them.
It's not. We're not talking about only a Nemesis 1 map versus Rock. It was 10-1, and this round was kind of a clutch as well. It could have been a 10-0 in favor of Nemesis, especially that Nemesis didn't do anything. If Nemesis even played out of their minds, just put all their trap book, I would say, okay, Nemesis were better. Yes, Nemesis, of course, they were better, but they just spammed one single strat, which is pushing aside, and Rock had no answers for this.
Well, we're going to get a look at the picks and bans and the veto system shortly, as I'm sure there is going to be some interesting ones here. I mean, Paladin, talk me through what you're seeing.
Well, this is crazy. I mean, so Na'Vi banning out Ankara is very interesting. I mean, the fact that you couldn't even float it is unfortunate to me. I would have at least liked to have used a ban from Rock side. They'll go into Black Widow, which I still think is a usable map for Rock. I think they look pretty solid as a decider, of course, yesterday. And then Na'Vi going into sub base. This, is very worrying to me, just because I do feel like Rock still has a little bit to give on that map. You think about it domestically. Of course, that all being said, it's interesting that this matchup has these 3 maps, because to me, anything can happen when they have played each other as many times as they have.
I mean, yeah, Rocky Sports on sub-base is not going to be as Falcons, because Rocky Sports usually when they play, they have Action, they have VNC. Those 2 players on sub-base are kind of scary, but as a Na'Vi player, what are you going to be doing? I'm sorry, but I need to play my map.
Well, we are ready then for our second series of the day. It's Na'Vi versus Rock, and you've got Paladin and Penguin. Guys, take it away.
Excited to be here in an all-Brazilian derby here, qualifying match number 2. A chance for another Brazilian team to join the ranks of their compatriots of Team Liquid, getting an upset victory over Stallions earlier today. I am Paladin, joined by Penguin, and I'm excited to get into Black Widow, where we had a lot of exciting moments, Penguin, a lot of exciting sequences between both of those squads. But the fact of the matter is, I think we've got a slow build-up for this series as a whole as well.
Yeah, and look at this. Look how Fifth is playing the A alongside. He's just getting the info needed for his teammates to stack beside, and he's very, very smart from him. He's getting the early information on Snake. And now he can push this info into a stack into sides, because MG is watching Cat, and mid is being hybrid peak by Action on B doors, as we can mention. And as we can see, I think this is one of the best strategies you can execute on the first round, because usually Na'Vi wouldn't expect Fifi just pushing too deep for such information. It's so smart play coming out from them, and look at this. They might be falling into this trap. The crossfire between Action and MG is about to start. The smokes are ready. MG is isolated. Action is trying to push and check if there's a push, and now he knows that it's a mid push, but all the players from beside just coming around. Silva just gets the first kill. AKX just traces it out, and it's all 1-for-1.
Oh, here's a split back in A, though. They abandoned the B split, and AKX finds another one. 4-on-3 now as Na'Vi gets the bomb down. A favorable advantage for them. Trying to retake through the spawn is obviously going to be a difficult task, and they've taken down that aggressive Fifi over there. AKT is still firing away on the retake, but he's down after 1. So PNC will try his hardest, but Na'Vi get the first round on the board, and it all comes down to just snap decision making. You know, they see a couple of players, they see that extra lean over to that B bomb site. They say, we don't like what we see. We're going to go through our own spawn smoke and surprise on that A side. And it did. I mean, you didn't have that long lurk to potentially answer back. You didn't have players in the right position on the A side. It was just that lone site defender, and you can only ask so much from him. He's able to find one in the end of it, but not enough to win the round for Rock, and that's exactly the start that you're looking for Na'Vi. This is just such an interesting best of 3, Penguin, because again, when it comes to these domestic matchups, they play each other so many times. There are so many permutations and combinations that come from in the veto and the results. It's a ripe opportunity, especially for a more upset or underdog team in Na'Vi to potentially qualify for the playoffs altogether.
Yeah, and I think how Na'Vi is playing on stage is actually a bit, or maybe a slightly better than on client or just like in online, because they play more into a team. They have so much more communication. They feel more hype, and they have more variety of strategies. So probably it's a better ground for them. And now, after a short technical break, we are back into the game, and Na'Vi just unleashes themselves into the bridge, into the B-side control, and just probably might want to end on B-side. And look at this, that pre-fire from Action just eliminates LKK before even going into side, and now AKX. This guy's doing an insane job so far in entering the side, just opens it up, and JV just backs it down, and now it's all down to Fefe and MG to reclaim the side. Kwan is already in base, which is, in my opinion, very worrying for Na'Vi. If they can slide into the side, he's not going to have time.
Should be okay, though. Still 3 players on B. And I like how dynamic and aggressive Na'Vi are, you know, regardless of the seeding, regardless of how much better Rock has done domestically, still a load of confidence to play ahead of that deep smoke being tossed in by the defense. And that completely catching Action off guard. Action is kind of going through his protocols, going through what he wanted to usually do. Hold on. Beefy and MG get a couple, but yeah, bomb's too far gone. So Navi should still be comfortable for this second round, and you're already seeing a little bit more confidence brewing from these youngsters. And for Rock, they're definitely going to have their work cut out for them. You know, you think about how slow they started in the series previously, yesterday on day one, and the expectation here that you know have to back the seeding that you've been given. Winning your league, qualifying for EWC in a great style.
Yeah.
How do you back that up in the competition here?
Exactly. Now in this competition, you're seeing only Navi on the board, Silva and MG, each with the piece. Makes it 4-on-3. Navi still they love being down in numbers, but not that much because MG just picks one more and action just puts KV to the dirt, and now Juan is alone. Such a beautiful quick score from him. But still, it's a very tough situation. 1-on-3, C4 is dropped, and now he needs to get all of them because VNC himself is now in base, just trying to catch him if he's going behind them. I think Navi might be just losing the first round, and VNC just got an info. He's trying to play time. He's trying just to waste some time. Because Juan, he needs to be doing the moves. He needs to be the one who's making the play. The C4 is dropped on Cat, and 2 players are covering, and VNC also is trying to have a backstab on Juan.
Juan understanding that there's multiple players on every which way, and he picks the wrong angle to swing first, and VNC capitalizes. Well played from VNC to value his life and basically box in Juan and disallowing him from ever having a chance at the clutch. We know what he's capable of. We've seen it on this map of Black Widow as well, so definitely capable, but smartly played from Rock to expunge any opportunity there. Now Navi tried their hand, like very aggressive. You know, you fight off of short, you fight off of the underpass there, and now MG's continuing the word of life. We talk about that head-to-head between Juan and MG in this series, and so far it feels like MG's coming out on top. Navi now going aggressive with the bomb still in base to at least try to take this A side. Juan getting advanced positioning, finding VNC after a nice pre-aim, but still threats lurk around every corner. MG, Action, Silva, they're all here. And with that, this round should be done and dusted. LCZ looking for anything, but won't find anything just yet. Yeah, and it's Action, and near flawless round there for Rock, and the favorites answer back almost instantaneously.
Yeah, 2 rounds for Navi, just followed by another 2 rounds for Rock. And let me tell you that 2 rounds on the global side is very, very good to be having a very close score between both teams, especially that we are talking about the blacklist side from Navi on Black Widow, the pick by Rock. So they should definitely have some variety of strategies, and one of them is just taking B bridge late on the round. But LCZ and LKK just denies this control. VNC just single-handedly takes the water control. He whips on LCC. I probably don't know how to get this kill from the back. That's why he falls, and JV just saves his teammate and makes it a 5-2. Silva and MG, the 2 snipers for Rock Esports, are alone in a difficult situation.
One might say impossible.
Yep.
Trade potential is very high now with Navi in this 5-on-2. And again, looking toward that initial B pop that has worked so well for them, but they get the kills handed to them on a silver platter. They take it with both hands. Now turning their attention back over to long. You know, you've got this lurk in JV, and MG will take some time to shoot just off the basis of maybe, you know, maybe another couple bodies show up, but the real hit's coming to A, and MG will have to give over a plant. And potentially this round as well, he's trying to see if he can suss out a player, and he does find LCZ, brings it down to a 1-on-3. Still a very difficult round to piece together here for the clutch maestro himself. Hearing in to search for AKX for Juan around the other corner, but hasn't actually taken into consideration that LKK is also on that box. And the lead is retaken by Na'Vi.
Yeah. What a beautiful round. Just started off very well for Na'Vi. Just denied the push, but look at this. Kills from LKK. I just loved how this guy is just getting the kills over there. And now I guess Rock want to be trying to do the same, but the flash just denies. AKT, or also known as Action, just falls back. And I mean, Na'Vi just don't want to give up the whole map for Rock, which is kind of acceptable. Look at this. Fefe again. He's trying to go for the sneaky info play, and now Juan just have an information and how they are playing. This should be countered next round by Na'Vi. They should be putting the EBR, they should be putting the wall bangs into Fefe if he tries to do the same. 3-2, is it? I still see that Rock are in a very good spot when it's very, very close, especially that they are starting on the global side. Yes, it's the map that Rock picked. However, still Na'Vi are doing very good job so far. As we can see, just MG single-handedly took barracks control. And it is only Fefe with the EBR. Undercat just watching mid and Undercat having help from Silva, who's also scooping the mid doors. Interesting setup, but as we can see, an Na'Vi just moving forward towards his side.
Oh, here's the rotation here from Silva. That third player shifts back from B over to A. They've got that barracks control as well that could come back to haunt them. JV and MG, that's a fight to keep out for in the late round. But Rock are kind of starved of information elsewhere. They don't have mid space. They don't have that aggressive bridge control either that's been denied in rounds previous. So they're going to commit through short. They're going to try to see if they can suss out where Silva's gone off to. And they found their man, LCZ, with another. It's just MG now, and that bomb will go down. Another rotation comes in from Action, and he'll find another body. As bomb continues to run down, Action jumps out the window to his own demise, and there's JV to strike with his late mid lurk, and Juan will chime in as well. Juan with a magnificent sequence there, coming in second and doing the job, and then some. This Blacklist side from the side of Na'Vi looks splendid.
Yeah, we expected, and they delivered. Na'Vi, they are still trying to take these controls. They are not afraid to take the fights. As we can see, they're just 4 men around the long. And instantly, let's say that Rock, they retreated. And also, AKX, he just smoked B box room so that nobody from Rock just kind of plays some adaptive gameplay. Yes, you took it long. We're going to be taking beside. He made it harder for them. And yes, he took now the beside. So the whole map control is now for Na'Vi. They just need to take the cat control and everything is going to be theirs. Probably a fake. They can send a fake. They can send a split. They can send a double fake. They can send someone to scout. They can do everything they want. The whole map control is only for them. And Rock are playing completely passive, except for MG, who's kind of stepping in, trying to get this kill, but whiffs the shot we talked about. MG is not having the best games. And now AKX trying to deny this information from Silva. Silva already knows that they are on side, and the split from the side is just coming around the corner.
And probably wait around for that smoke. They've gone through it in times before, and there comes the flashes. They will actually engage onto MG and Fifi as quickly as possible. They actually jump down to the spawn. Juan's found one, but Action's getting some action himself. But suddenly a flurry of frags come back for the Blacklist side, and it's all up to VNC now in the 1-on-3. He knows that he's got LCZ pinned here, but he can't actually capitalize. He's got to allow him to escape, and LCZ will on 15 health. VNC decides to push ahead, and instantly attack timeout being called by Rock. They realize that they're having the right reads, but they're losing bodies. Something has to change here as VNC pulls it to a 1-on-2. Still plenty of time for him to play around here. Jumping around, trying to close the distance, but Juan still has this long angle. Still a very dangerous one for him, but VNC snuck all the way around. Finally, Juan turns around. Na'Vi rack up their 5th round on their Blacklist side. They are cruising through Black Widow.
I mean, they are playing very good. Let's just look at how good their controls is. They are usually the team that's putting the control. They're usually the team that's setting the tone in the map. You take beside, we take a side. You leave beside, we take beside. And we shift it into a side. And this is exactly how Navi is playing. They took the airlock control in the last round. Only AKX was on beside. He played very passive. He played very, very defensively. He waited for the actions from Rock, but Rock didn't show any actions. And this is exactly Rock. Very, very weak on this map, that they don't do any reactions, they don't do any aggressive plays. Yes, we've seen Fefe on the first round. He went behind the box trying to get some information, but this is not an aggressive play. It's just an aggressive information taking from him, but no fights, no pushes. The only time they fought was on bridge, where Navi just destroyed him with a double kill from LKK and the AKX. Now Navi, I don't think they need to change anything, but they should be expecting more fights coming out from these guys. They should be expecting Rocky Sports changing the pace of the game, trying to take some fights, trying to take some controls, probably faking some controls, or maybe playing adaptive versus you. If you take his side, they're going to be taking his side, and if you fight for his side, they might be there for you. So I guess all what they need to do is just not to talk about changing anything, but to talk about being careful after these tag pulls.
You know, I think about the aggressive bridge pop that Rock had to take that B-side control, and I like the idea, but it did feel a little foolhardy. It didn't seem like there was the communication and the chemistry that we've known Rock to pull off in previous series, and it cost them. You know, Navi are just a little bit sharper right now, a little bit more tactically savvy, and again, they go into duel and bridge, and the attack timeout comes out. You still really only have that aggression from Fifi over on long side. It's going to be that B play yet again here from Navi. And Action again gets the pre-fire, but he doesn't get the kill. The trades are immaculate here for Navi until Silva chimes in with the double himself. Huge work there from the side anchor. And thrusts Juan into a 1-on-2. He doesn't have the C4, so he's going to have to go the long way around, hoping that if he goes back to the blacklist base that he'll be able to clip one and bring it to an even keel, but no one's here. MG is sitting all the way on short side, jump spotting, trying to see if he can figure out where Juan's gone off to, but even MG backs away, so a lot of room for Juan to get moving, and I don't think Fifi's aware of that C4 being dropped. Otherwise, you know, MG would have probably moved over, so everybody kind of in the unknown right now. And there's so much time to rot off the clock. Juan can really play as slow as he wants. Now, decides to maneuver back over to the doors. But he's got to see if Fifi's moved over to the window where he will reside. Slowly but surely, Juan encroaches upon this B site, and it's just a matter of moments. He isn't able to flick fast enough, and Fifi finds his man. A very necessary 2-on-1 conversion there from Rock as they bring the lead down, or cut the lead down to just 2.
Yeah, I mean, we expected, Navi to be kind of a bit defensive because they should wait for the actions from Rocky Sports after the tech timeout, but we saw them just pushing it to besides. So it was a fail from them, and now LCZ just give them the lead that's been taken out by Silva right now. Our 4-on-4, and in terms of HP, it's also very close. JV just lost a little bit of his HP, and VNC as well in return, who's not having the best games, 2-on-7. And now Rocky Sports, we said they're gonna be fighting for some angles, and this is what is happening from them. They took beside, yes, they leave it, but I think that they saw that, okay, we did some damage, we took the control, they think we are there, let's just leave it and try to play around stacking around the side. And this is exactly the best call, because we are seeing now, moving to the side, and 3 players are waiting for them.
As soon as that lurk smoke is dropped, and that lurk is down, it forces Navi into this long play, but AKX still gets an entry. Trades go every which way, and they all favor the global risk side. It's just Juan again in a 1-on-3, make it 1-on-2, and he's figured out where VNC has gone off to. But again, no C4, no opportunity to potentially pull this into a reasonable clutch, and he's got to clear out this window. He hasn't just yet. Silva is having a couple of fantastic rounds here. A key reason as to why Rock have 4 rounds to begin with. A couple of impactful multi-kill rounds from him, and now as we swap sides, feels like Rock are slowly finding that beacon to get them involved back in this series again.
Yeah, the tag timeout from Vienna is just insane. He just grabbed 2 rounds. If you're on the global side and get 4 rounds, it's quite good for you. And this exactly, look at this beautiful flake from LKK. Just takes out Faith and immediately traded by Action just around the corner, and it's 4-4. I mean, Rock, they started very strong on this Blacklist side. They took controls very fast. They took big control, and also Fefe just single-handedly went to a mid-cat control. And now everything is on the line for Rocky Sports. They have the controls, they have the C4. Yes, they don't have that numbers advantage, but on the Blacklist side, 4 is enough for you if you want to be having a good trades. Rocky Sports, they saved the game by getting the last 2 rounds after the tech timeout from Vienna, and now they're gonna be showing us a good Blacklist side half. Just to mention, Rocky Sports is the team that picked Black Widow, so they know how to play this map. Probably Rocky Sports, they usually pick Black Widow versus anybody except Liquid, I believe, because of Gokins and Seven's crazy kills on the sides.
Now they move back over to that B tunnels here, try to retake that control. They've still got a little bit of utility to suss out where JV's gone off to, but it's this high-low setup that you're hoping essentially just wins you the round outright. If the trades still go Rock's way, this could be disastrous. JV finds the first, AKX chimes in as well, but here comes Silva back the other way. Another big double kill from him. Minute left on the clock, so plenty of room for him to potentially get that C4 down, but he decides to move back over to A, and he's spotted out both of these players, brings it down to a one-on-one, gets a little bit of damage off on Juan. And now that he's figured him out, he wants to just cut this one-on-one down right now. Tries to chase after him, but a little too much time has passed at this point, but clock continues to rot away. 30 seconds left on the timer here, and Silva's got to make his move. He's got to make his action right now. Juan, very keen on just playing passive here, okay with giving the plant over on A, knowing that he can still rotate through the base. So Silva should have the opportunity here to get that C4 down, and he absolutely will. And now it's a ripe opportunity here for Silva, who's had a tough tournament so far, and a chance to drag Rock back into an even keel here in round number 10. Juan decides to approach this avenue through short. We'll continue to cut down this space. Bomb halfway gone. At this point, Juan's really got to get a move on. He's got to make some guesses. I think he's figured out Juan's gone back to the van here. Trying to cut down some more space, and he switches back over, but there's the shot. Juan's given up his position. He'll try to tap the bomb, but Juan will still find the kill. Does he have enough time here is the real question. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. And Rock, in the nick of time, pull it off. Silva is doing everything for Rock right now.
It's just 0.1 milliseconds, I guess, for him to defuse this C4, but now Rock, they put themselves on board, and it's now a draw, 5-5. Ah, man, he was 4 HP. Rocky Sports just gets it done. Now, controls on along from Rock. I mean, they've been doing so good in these controls on Blacklist side. Same for Navi. This is what you should be expecting from the Brazilian teams. They are good in controls, they are good in communication, and also and now AKX just sneaking. Want to get the information, and usually you'd see a team taking bridge control after you take it on control, and this is one of them. Navi just takes the bridge control, but they're stacking with 2 players. One is watching BC, and the other is just watching belong 3 players on his side, and one is about to get tested right now. First shot miss. Fefe just gets a kill. One just gets it back, and JV just doubles it on Fefe, who dropped Undercat, and now it is a 4v3. While Juan is very low HP behind the train, he falls down to AKT, and now he swings and gets the double kill. That's one of the best players in the Brazil, and makes it happen for Rocky Sports.
Hold on. LCZ still has an opportunity here. Spots out a body, but can't actually convert. Silva now in action. They're just trying to figure out if they can deal with LCZ pre-planned. And AKX is still kicking, so we're still in a 2-on-2 with a minute left on the clock, and this bomb still has not gone down. Finally, it does, and LCZ does not bite just yet. It does give a little bit of time for AKX to join with his partner, and he comes up short, but Action's still kicking. Action's done plenty of damage at this point. Pushes back Na'Vi. And Action will find one more. Huge round from the Stars. Action completes the quad, and it just feels as though Na'Vi take a little bit too much time there. They don't respond in kind. It's a double push and a B that, eventually need that third rotation to pull back into A, and it just isn't in time. Action basically gets these kills for free, and now Rock take the lead after just a grueling comeback through the Global Risk side and now through the Blacklist side as well.
Yeah, they extending this comeback into the Blacklist side because it was 5-3, I believe, in favor of Na'Vi, and now it is 6-5. 3 in a row from Rock. Just want to be making it happen. And I guess Rocky Sports are on the right foot. They are trying to take a slow controls, as we can see. Just deny the map control for Team Na'Vi. As we can see, they have the barracks control, they have the bridge control, they had the CAG control as well. And we've seen also Fefi, while he's grabbing the C4, he checked mid. So he knows that nobody from Na'Vi is just doing any crazy plays or any aggressive information gathering. So they bring back their squad on B side. Flashes are good. Smokes are good. Counter flashes from LKK. He just waits on the corner. He's just trying to slow them down. The rotations are coming. And the AKX is the first to grab. And now he doubles it with LKK. VLC is the only from Rocky Sports to trade. Action reprise. And it is a 3v2. One of them is lurking on his side. Look at MG. But now they know that he's here. That's why you're playing versus your opponents on your locals. And you know exactly how they're playing. MG just gives away his position, and Action is in a very, very tough spot. The very low HP is the C4 on B side that falls into the base and leaving the side fully open to Na'Vi. Finally, I would call it a successful round so far from Na'Vi, unless those two players just pulls the clutch.
I mean, AKX and LKK have done fantastic to hold down that B site. But as you mentioned, AKT in this low HP situation and MG being figured out over on long, it really cuts down your options. And with 25 seconds left on the clock, boys, we got to get a move on here. And they'll basically just switch positions. Action will go up through long. MG will come up through cat. Searching for LCZ in the window, and there won't be anybody spotted just yet. Action will continue to encroach. 10 seconds. I mean, at this point, you have to move. You have to get this bomb down. If I'm LCZ, I'm swinging here, no matter what. He'll try to get this bomb down. He should be able to get it safely. LCZ knows where he's gone off to, but MG, the Guardian Angel,
just bring your
saves him. Just saves him.
Bring your pistol and just jump, as you mentioned.
But we still have an opportunity here for Na'Vi to equalize. Still a 2-on-2. Juan's still alive. JV still known for a clutch or two. Bomb halfway gone, and that's a huge kill from MG. Makes it very difficult here for JV as he comes back up over the ramp and he gets spotted out from Action. That does feel like a blunder from LCZ, and Rock capitalized. There's that difference in experience, Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, he should have took his pistol and just denied the plan. That's all he needed to do in the last round. But I mean, Na'Vi just gave away. I said it as a successful round unless these guys pull this clutch, and yes, they do. Action just doubles two players. LKK and JV both lose this alive in the smoke, and Action is here. Brings up some Action on Elong and just gives his teammates the numbers advantage needed to secure one more round. Picked Black Widow for a reason, and I guess that Team Rock are just setting the tone from 5-3 in favor of Na'Vi to probably 8-5. Talking about 5 rounds in a row if they win this round.
Yeah, and I just think that Rock have been playing a very smart Blacklist side. It's not, overcompensating, not forcing plays that don't exist on the table. And, they get themselves long control. Action gets 2 kills. Maybe you commit to A at that point. Maybe you go into another 2-player stack, but no. They play it intelligently. They leave Action in barracks. They scoot back over into base. They retake mid control, and look at that. MG is now spotted out. Another player fighting off of short. Plenty of ideas brewing here for Rock. Plenty of options for Rock here. And as they go back into B bridge, He should still have a favorable opportunity. Still going into a two-player setup here, mind you. Juan and AKX are definitely formidable. But this execution has been solid in rounds past.
Yeah. And we've seen Rock just pulls a clutch. So it's probably Navi can just do the same. They can have a good push. I mean, Rocky Sports, all they need to do is just to burn some time, just make them do mistakes, and now they're going to be eliminating the AKX on the B doors and giving themselves a further lead in the round. One is just left alone. He knows that he can't get any of those entries, and now LCZ brings it up into a 2v4. MG is already creeping behind. I don't know if they know anything about this guy that's coming behind. He gets one, and Juan is already on B window, and they're going to be collapsing on him. An 8-5 lead for Rocky Sports, and the tag timeout is yet to be called. Yes, now Navi, they bring their tag timeout. They want to be talking. Probably it's a bit too late because it's 5 rounds in a row, but still it is one tag timeout that needs to change the map.
I mean, no, it's definitely too late, in my opinion. There's just no reason to throw it down now. I mean, sure, it's not a bad decision to do it right now, but it's definitely diminishing returns as Rock have just unlocked themselves, so to speak. Silva with some fantastic openers now, switching over to the Blacklist side. Probably my MVP, done enough just to get them back into the game and allow for action to wake up. I don't think we get to this position without Silva. And now donning the secondary, he will still be encroaching upon taking some B space, keeping those global risk players in check. But again, so much room taken for Rock. You know, they get barracks control. You still have a player peering in through mid. And as JV and AKX decide to play a little far forward, they get punished. This is an important duel, and neither team really wants to re-engage in that situation. They all pull away, and we still have ourselves a 5-5 almost a minute into the round. Oh, there we go. LCZ with his secondary will chime in. A very necessary 5-on-4 found for this global risk side.
Yeah, and Navi, after this tag timeout, LCZ just goes aggressive on Cat and just gets the kill onto Fefe, who's just been taking mid alone for a while. We've seen him just doing this the same over and over just for a couple of rounds, and now a group from Rocky Sports into beside 3 of them, and action again just gets LKK. I guess this is the second time he just refires him, and BNC is in a very tough spot because he's alone there, and action just unleashes himself onto the side and gets the kill. JV just trades. And it is a 3-on-3. VNC is just lucky to be alive so far, and MG just puts JV onto the ground. Doing the lurks, the flanks, and he has the guts to do it.
I mean, solo lurking with the sniper is not an easy task. He's failed a couple of times with this, but this time successful. Juan does cut Silva down, so we still have ourselves a doable 2-on-2. LCZ swaps over to a rifle, and Juan still retains that sniper. MG spots out a leg. He spots out a shoulder. Still doesn't pull the trigger. Still willing to gather a little bit of information. Finally wants to shoot the shot off, and he will find MG. Juan's been figured out into the window. Juan will get back on the site now as he continues to cut down the distance, but MG swaps over to the Colt. He gets himself Rock's 9th round, and they are just cruising through Black Widow here.
I mean, 5-3?
5-3. And look at the result now.
It's too tough, man. Too tough. Only for Rock that you expect them doing such things. What a, let's say, magical timeout, because it's Vienna. He took the tactical timeout before the first half ends, and then they take this tactical timeout also onto their Blacklist side because they've been playing so good so far. And talking about Fefe, and now he loses his life. AKX is very low HP, but LKK just gets another kill, and suddenly, all of a sudden, just Navi finally just stay on the foot and get one more run. 9-6 curse can occur from this moment. We've seen a good consecutive rounds from Rocky Sports. That means that also Navi controls the same if they can continue the same way. And LKK, AKX, LCZ just keeps getting these entries and kills on Fefi and Rocky Sports.
You know, Navi did have a formidable Black Widow when you think about that defense that was holding so strong on that B site between AKX and LKK. And they've had a couple of good sequences here, but just anti-clutch, honestly, in the late round so far. Sure, they've broken the deadlock, this huge streak of rounds that Rock back in this map of Black Widow. But is it too little? Is it too late? I guess we're about a minute 40 from that result. Silva still on secondary duties, holding on to some B space, holding on to a little bit of bridge control as Rock turned their attention to Long. And VNC will be that first body to show his head. Juan still such a force in this map of Black Widow, and LCZ, the secondary, will chime into place as well. So these double snipers doing their work in wonders as Navi continue to try to claw this game back within 2.
Yeah, it needs to be from there, but do not exclude Rocky Sports from the picture yet, because we've seen a similar clutch from MG in Action. Action was like 10 HP. But the 3 players, now it is a 3 full HP players with the C4 and with Action alive. Silva's been waiting and waiting for AKX to do, or to make any mistakes, but it's not happening. And now JP is in a very good position to line both, and exactly this is what happens. Silva in Action just falls, and now it is all onto this guy. MG is going to be trying to waste some time, but Juan, I mean, he missed because this guy just looked on the ground instantly and just like missed his shot. And now Navi finally, the 2 rounds in a row, can put their hopes, or can make their hopes alive.
I mean, it's the 7th round all day for Navi. The flank comes in from AKX. With that C4 down, it's just a difficult situation. JV does very well to get that double headshot sequence there. I mean, it's just a couple millimeters, couple pixels, and you know, if that doesn't go that way, completely different situation for Rock. Maybe the trades are effective in round number 16. They close it out, but Navi holding on for dear life. You're getting sequences from the guys that you're looking for. And this B bomb site's closed for business, Rock. There's got to be another option here. There's got to be another strat. And it seems like that A site is the answer. Fast up the short side. LCD, the secondary, getting kill after kill. Make it a double here. And still not pushed off this angle. No flashes in his face, giving every opportunity for him to just storm back into this first map. And as MG tries to look for something, he will be rewarded. JV does go down. Beautiful little flick there. We still have ourselves a 3-on-3. 2 players up on long. AKX making that rotation up through the window. Now we still have all 3 players here on this A side. I mean, we definitely can with the lack of map control that they have. They do have this B space. It's basically all they have. And they're going to have to do a lot with it. Na'Vi with a 3-player stack over here on B. A player on the rafters. I mean, there's a great crossfire here between Juan and JV. And Juan will get that first kill as well. So AKT and MG will have a very difficult time on their hands. Body spotted. Juan capitalized upon, but JV with the instant rebuttal. All up to MG, who pulled a clutch like this very close. And has got a little bit more time to play with, but nobody's presenting an opportunity to the vet. Have a look in, but don't necessarily fancy his chances this time around. Could have spotted a leg there off of JV. Maybe just missed the mark. LCZ now up to bat. Oh, and it capitalized upon by MG. Now we can have a conversation, or at least start that conversation, as JV's now been spotted. And MG is just not able to really suss out these one-on-ones. Finally is rewarded. JV did not have to go that aggressive. 15 seconds left on the clock now.
Him.
MG is a little blinded, and that actually does give enough opportunity for LKK on the flank. So another missed moment there from MG, a chance for him to have a highlight play, but it just feels as though Na'Vi are playing a very sharp global risk side.
Yeah, that's why we know that Na'Vi is one of the best teams that's playing top base on Brazil. And they have a very, very high confidence levels when it comes to such gameplay. And Fefi now just kills LKK, who tried to play very aggressive on such angle. And the control from Vance. Look at Na'Vi. They are trying to chase Rocky Sports and VNC. I don't think he had any clue that there is someone there. And now the C4 is all in the hands of JV and LCZ. AKX as well is watching. Look how aggressive Na'Vi is playing this map. I mean, every single round they're pushing. But Fef is still alive. He brings JV's life. And now the C4 is still dropped on Spiral. I think it is going to be a very tough round, but still Rock. Do you know that all they need to do is just run the time. Just let the smokes gone. Try to retake. Play together. Play for the trades. And we don't need the C4. We can win the round by only just trying to approach the C4's position.
You got this player in Juan deep in the backside of this map. Action has a look in, but I think the priority right now is just see if we can try to at least take out the defense near this bomb, or get the bomb itself, regardless. Here comes a flash. It blinds up both AKX and LCZ, and they go down with absolutely nothing. Fifi does very well to find that double. Nice setup, and unfortunately Na'Vi not privy to the idea that they could be flashed in the first place. It forces Juan to go for a big clutch, and Rock will capitalize. So proactive in the initial approach there from Rock. A little dicey with how they were bounding around with the C4, but threat neutralized. Rock move on to equalize.
Yeah, it is a 2-on-2 now. Still, I'm saying that Na'Vi are playing very good. They're being very, very active, and we are seeing again a push onto Machine with 3 players. And Rocky Sports, they are trying to do an adaptive move, but these decide just to wait for the smokes to be gone. Probably you're going to be seeing a Machine retake from Rocky Sports. We've seen one on the Spire space, and it was very, very good. We can see one also onto Machine, and now, I mean, Na'Vi is not giving a chances for Rocky Sports to play the game. They usually are the one who's making the plays. They're smoking Woods, they play Woods aggressive, they push Woods aggressive, or they just push Machine aggressive to try to take Machine controls aggressive, or probably going to be pushing late round on you. An absolute push from BC, Machine, Connector, everywhere, just pushing you to the base, just like the round before. And now you're going to be seeing a push into a down without any casualties so far. A leg shot only on VNC, but this is not going to make it. Silva just swings to get LCZ, and now Juan is trying to find whoever is behind him. But no success from Na'Vi so far. All the players are live and nades are good. LKK is good for one. MG just traces it out. AKX just loses his life, and LKK is fully blind on this fence. Silva's trying to get the kill over here, but the action In the end, he's the one to get the kills, and it's a 2-on-2. MG is quite low in HP. Action is the only one who's trying to bring this round for Rocky Sports.
LKK doing so much, making this an opportunity for Navi to capitalize upon. Juan and JV hand in hand, cutting down the distance, making Action switch over to the pistol. He's so indecisive, and JV will find another round for Navi. It just feels like this Global Risk side cannot be stopped. Hero moment after hero moment from this defense, and they just eke out the lead.
Yeah, I mean, a very good round from Navi, I would say, because Navi is usually the team that's making the plays. They push machine, and they still had a very good head-on hold. Normally, if you push machine, you would have the weaknesses on his side. That's why usually, look at that 5-man push into mid from Navi. They get the first, but Fefe and MG treads it immediately, and it's all Bloodbath in mid. An immediate shut down to such pushes.
That's a real confidence booster there for Rock to deal with such a sequence. I think, I understand the aggression with wanting to take Woods, trying to be a little bit more in the faces of Rock, but 5 men into one position like that, basically a perfect spot for them to get triangulated upon is definitely frowned upon from my perspective, at least. But Rock, given a second lease on life here, need to really chain the rest of these rounds together on this Blacklist side, because Navi feel like they've already done enough so far on subbase. We've seen how formidable they are on the offense. Double nades from VNC and MG do not find anything just yet, but a lot of space being taken. Woods control firmly in the favor of the offense, and Rock continue to encroach from this B side as well. And what a shot there from MG, instantly opening things up, and they want to continue. They want to move all the way in. They want to challenge JV. JV runs out of bullets, and VNC, Silva, Fifi, they all have their moments. And it's just AKX now in the clutch. Cuts it down to a 1-on-2.
Okay.
But we'll have to make a long rotation all the way around, because that bomb will go down shortly. He decides to maybe cause a little bit of a fake, showcase footsteps moving back over to A, walk back into B. Rock still not willing to put that bomb in the dirt. We'll hold for just a little bit longer. Minute still left on this clock, so plenty of time to play with here if you are Rock. Maybe a tap? No, a commitment completely there from AKT.
Yeah.
Now, Action will still peer over. AKX 16 HP, has to get it all done on his own. Has to figure out where these players have gone off to, but this crossfire has already been established. Action has gotten up into the rafters, and Rock will reclaim the lead.
Yeah, I mean, a good round from them, a good split. It was fast, and you mentioned that it was a control, but they decided to commit on the side. MG was leading the push after the kill, and then suddenly everything falls apart in favor of Rocky Sports, and Navi just find themselves a 1v3 now. We're seeing a 4-man stack. That's what makes Navi one of the best teams on Subbase. Look at these guys. A 4-man stack onto his side. Nobody on his side. Nobody on A top. Nobody watching vents, maybe. LKK is only just watching Woods, watching vents. But the rest are only having a machine and B connector watch. And this is so scary for Rocky Sports if they decided to go to B-side. And imagine if they did and Jesus wasn't around. I mean, Navi is going to be very disappointed for this one, but I see that the classic double vent setup coming out, which can take LKK out because he's not watching vents at all.
A bit too gambly for my liking here from Navi yet again. Put so much on the shoulders of LKK, who, mind you, without the resources, has stepped up in rounds past. This one might be a bridge too far. Rock now considering that vents commitment, but don't actually go through with it just yet. Maybe a B splits on the cards. A couple of options for Rock, and for their sake, I hope they don't make the wrong decision. And finally, they move back over. They get themselves some wood space, and they look to commit to A. Smokes are nice to give them a little bit more breathing room. And now there's no nade for LKK. A rotation comes in from AKX to help and support. But now that LKK is down, you're thinking that maybe they can commit to A, but no, the split is in. This late honeypot approach here on B could be everything. As AKX strikes, and there comes JV and LCZ. Huge work from Navi. The gamble does pay off.
Yeah.
And Navi equalize.
I mean, if Rocky Sports watched Navi last game, how they played versus Falcons on sub-base in particular on B side, because they definitely have seen JVs having a lot of success on that side. And Falcons as well, they were having success on his side, so they should have been trying to check on these plays, but now...
Yeah, there's only been one A execution this whole map so far.
Yeah, and that's it. If you get one A side execution, I believe that it's going to be higher chances of just going to B side, because B side a lot of corners to check, a lot of angles to release, and now Rocky Sports are still kind of trying to find the win on this half. I mean, 4-on-4 is good if you are playing on the global side. But imagine if you get one more round and it is a 5-4 and then you just switch, you go to the blacklist side, and it's your picked map. Definitely this is a map 3 on the line for Navi if G just can make it.
Oh, I mean, even if they don't get that 5th round, I think they'll be very happy with what they've done here on the defense. Now, a little bit more pace added to Fifi, and he gets an opener straight away. So plenty of time on the clock as Rock now with his tempo change have completely caught Navi off guard, and they've gotten themselves the A side pretty comfortably. 3-on-3 now, as this afterplant is a ripe opportunity for Rock to claim a slim lead at the end of the half. Here comes the rest of the offense, or the defense rather, in AKX. MG will capitalize, flash in his face. He is blinded up, but JV in the meantime goes down, and it shouldn't really matter at the tail end. Rock have done just enough to surprise, and they'll get themselves that slim lead that I mentioned, and we'll have a whole lot to do on the global risk side now that we swap.
Yeah, Navi, they were very, very good. I mentioned Navi, they're kind of good on blacklist side, but you also planned and you mentioned on the desk that their global side is very, very smart, and they have some kind of mixing strategies, late pushes and everything, and we've seen all. We've seen pushes through mid, we've seen pushes through B connector, machine, woods, everything, and now they're going to be playing on the blacklist side, and the JV just opens it up on Feifei and immediately traded by MG. It's 1-for-1, but the control is for Rock. I would take it every day, and I would just push every time, if it is 1-on-1, and yet you have that spot. Action with the counter strafe, he's trying to get the kills. LKK, this smoke gonna slow Navi down. The nade is gonna do some damage. Yes, it does. And now the counter smoke from Navi to pressure action from this position. And it is. Now they cross 2 B top, and action is fully flashed, but he's managed to get one, and MG as well just gets another. The push from BC, but Silva's right here to cover it up. And Juan is the last player alive versus VNC in action after taking out Silva. It's not going to be an easy task, but definitely it is doable after this kill. If he manages to get it, and action just runs up to bullet and tries to get on top of the rocket and just gets the kill, and he's laughing. What a way to end this round by action.
I know action is given a wry smile there, because that goes awry after a couple of whiffs.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy if you drop that one. Juan makes it another real round out of it, but not to be. So many almost moments from Navi in this series, but almost is not good enough against the top dogs in Brazil. Rock now extend play. 2 rounds the difference. A huge defensive round to notch for yourself. 4 rounds away from qualifying to the EWC 2026 playoffs here at Crossfire. Slow down now from Navi. Happy with Woods control, happy with machine control. 2 valuable parts of this map in their favor for the offense. And a lot of opportunity around the corner for this squad.
Yeah. I mean, 6-4. Just getting also your first round on the global side is very good to keep your dreams alive. I see that now they still have the chances of winning, and they still have got the things to do it. Now, a slow gameplay coming from Navi, but look at the stack. 4 guys around the machine, and the smoke's just going to slow them down. And now a stack from Rocky Sports. They have a very good read. And as I say so, he just leaves MG on his own, gets one. He attacks the other as well. He want to get the collateral kills, but now he dumps it down. And JV just gets the trade immediately in action now in position. LCZ gets one more in Fefi, but nobody knows about. Actually does a lot of damage and he falls to his death.
No.
And JV just loses his life after just falling to his death. And now LCZ is just doing a very good job into holding his side. But as I say so, both of the players just die immediately. And I guess Rock are kind of on their foot and Navi might be pulling their attack.
Yeah, I would not mind at all if you take attack at this point. Action, while he doesn't get the most amount of kills in that sequence, stays alive for so long for a couple more rotations to come through. Silva chimes in, and of course MG with that beautiful double. He's really come alive in this series. You know, we've talked about some of the poor sequences that he's had so far in this tournament, but he's coming alive when it matters the most.
Yeah.
13-7, and they want to be a little bit more pacey here, Navi. And it's worked out. AKX, LKK chime in, but again, MG with the double. And now VNC's made the rotation, but can't complete the kill. It's got to be MG. Trying to figure out where Juan's gone off to. Tries a pre-fire, but can't connect. Flash in his face. Same for a smoke. And now Silva and MG have got to join hands. They've got to find a way to clutch up here. JV's hearing all of this, but he can't actually stay alive for too long. So we bring it back to a 2-on-2. Navi cannot drop the ball here. That's a great nade. It softens up Juan even further. Silva wants to wait around behind the smoke, but he can't. He's got to go forward, and Silva will still find Juan. It's all up to AKX in the 1-on-2. He finds the first. Has so much time to round off the clock. He's not figured out where MGF's gone off to. And MG has found yet another clutch. He might have just enough time here. Oh, it's going to be real close, but he's just got it in the nick of time. MG is having himself a series.
I mean, we've talked about this guy, and now he just gets right on his foot when it is needed. A fast round from Navi. It was a successful one until the retake just started from Silva, the guy who checked everything, the guy who had everything on the line. And now look at MG. He's trying to play aggressive, trying to get one, but now just a little bit of damage on MG. But still, in the end, Rock, they are showing a dominant performance from them. An 8-4 lead. Not a single round from Navi on the Blacklist side. And this is the map you picked, Navi. And we've seen Navi doing very good on this map. But this is not the case now. Action is still playing the same action way as we say. And this nade can do a lot of damage. But okay, LKK just steps forward to try to dodge it. And he does again the same smoke just to counter the push from Action. And Action knows that this was one of the rounds that they did before. MG kind of countered this round by pushing into quad boxes, getting the kills. But now we're seeing Navi, they're trying to play a little bit slower. 8-4, 1 minute and 30 seconds. And this could be the 9th for Rock if they continue. They are playing the same passive way, just all on the same line. Double stack on it down. While Navi just picking themselves to go to B-side. I'm very surprised that nobody went to A-side this game.
Yeah, I know, it's very strange. But, I mean, Rock are considering the mid-round change-up here from Navi, but it doesn't come through. Only 2 players here, but I thought it's honestly been enough in rounds past. Blockers taken by Navi as they encroach. Smokes in. MG looking over to the heavens to see if he can take one down before he falls away, but he can't. Utility is great here from Navi. LCZ blinded up though, and MG decided to play forward. He's done this many a time, and this time Navi actually capitalized. And finally, their game plan of taking this B site has worked out. Better late than ever.
I mean, the smokes are good. Like, they smoked the machine to deny the info from MG on the cross, and then MG had to rotate back to the pillar just to watch me top. Then they had another smoke to deny this information as well. So they just isolated Dark Room completely from the side. And they collapsed on both players inside the Dark. One of the best strategies that we've seen from Navi. A good counter smoke utilities that made it quite easy for them to execute on the side. And now VNC is just giving his teammates some time to talk about it. How are we going to be countering this? I guess if they did the same, they need to have someone on B-top. The last time they had someone on B-top, they had Action on B-top. He did a lot of damage on JV that he fell to his death, and then he got one more kill on the downside. So if they keep smoking the information, then put one guy on B-top and he can do a lot of damage. And now Na'Vi just trying to play a bit defensive and changing the play style. They take Woods control, but MG this time is not around.
I mean, they haven't really fought for Woods at all, Rock. And I mean, they haven't had to, considering the A splits haven't been a thing in this series, or on Subway specifically, on both sides, mind you. And again, Machines control the priority for Na'Vi, round in and round out. It seems as though they've done their homework. But here's the adaptation from Fifi. Close range. Looking to put this gun to work.